Let's talk offense. The Niners offense, I mean, they scored 26 points. Some of it was in garbage time. They started off slow. Mac Jones was efficient, 30 of 39. The run game was interesting in the sense that Christian McCaffrey continued to struggle, but Brian Robinson Jr. really didn't. He was pretty good, and he got 8 carries. What do you think of the Niners offense?
Oh, they did not have much flow early in the game, obviously. The thing about it is you get down to the critical situations and play selection, and as a coach and a play caller, looking at the flow of the game and how your players are matching up and how they're doing well. Here's the other thing that I want to go back to the fourth down play, okay, because that just sticks in your craw as a coach. You're a 4th and 1, okay? Now, they were in a multiple tight end formation. The Niners had Luke Farrell playing on the left side next to Trent Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 4th and 1, and they're running outside zone against one of the Rams defensive ends. Was that Brian Young out there?
Byron Young, yeah.
Yeah, Byron Young. Okay. Now, this is just dumb. Who's your best blocking tight end that you have on your roster active, dressed up for game day?
That 85 guy.
Yeah, that World Wrestling Federation guy who's playing football for you.
Yeah, the future Hall of Famer.
Yeah, why would you want to run the ball behind this 89 or whatever, as opposed to behind Kittle, who's supposed to be the best blocking guy you got in your whole offense on 4th and 1 in a drive that you can still have a chance to win the ball game?
To catch him off guard. I couldn't tell you.
Well, see, the thing about it, okay, that's utilization of personnel. Then number 2, he's running an outside zone play. It's 4th and 1, and he's running east and west, trying to get the edge. When, I just want to say, between the tackles, to go from point A to B straight ahead rather than going, east and west. And so not only was the utilization of personnel not good, the play selection was not good. And ergo, it's turned the ball over and you lost yards on the play. And so those kind of things stick with you.
I got one question about that 4th and 1 play. Yes, it was a bad call. Why are you asking your running back to run sideways when you need 1 yard? Doesn't make sense. But 2 years ago, 2023, do you think Christian McCaffrey picks up that first down?
I don't know if he can outrun the penetration, because, see, the bottom line is if you could secure the edge for him, now I could say he should have a chance to make it. But until you can secure the block, see, the same thing with the running the outside zone to the right now this past season with McKivitz out there. When you can't button run and get any movement at the point, and penetration is always across the line of scrimmage, the best back in the world at making people miss is going to struggle. I used to watch Barry Sanders all the time at Detroit. He had a league record of making more defensive players miss behind the line of scrimmage before he even got to the line of scrimmage. Well, that's what's going on with the run game right now with the Niners. Not only are you worried about McCaffrey's speed and his explosiveness and his ability to accelerate, you worry about the penetration they're giving up. And the more you run laterally, the more you allow the penetration to create a factor and an impact, and you're taking away cutback lanes, and you're restricting the player to a one-way exit, and it's not a positive situation.
Yeah, if you're giving up penetration, really the last thing you should be doing is outside zone. You should be running traps and things like that to use the penetration against them, right? I mean, I'm just quality control.
When the other thing is, you talk about that. When's the last time the Niners used one of their tight ends to even wham a defensive end or a defensive tackle?
Probably when Harbaugh was the coach.
The Rams have used a wide receiver in motion to come in and wham an opponent's defensive lineman, an interior lineman, not the seal block on the edge, but I'm talking about between the tackles. And they've used a wide receiver. And, the Niners have these tight ends, and they're just, collecting dust on the sideline,
Let me ask you a question. We've talked about the 3 tight end personnel, 13 personnel. Rams are using it. Seahawks using it. Really having a lot of success. Could the Niners use it? I mean, Juszczyk isn't doing much. Jennings isn't doing much. If you had McCaffrey, Pearsall, Kittle, Tonjes, and Farrell, would that present schematic issues to defenses, or what do you think?
Well, it depends upon what kind of plays you structure around that. I wouldn't utilize that to try to run outside zone. You may run some plays that have bounce potentials to it, but the bottom line is when I use that kind of a surface against an opponent, I should be able to get some double teams involved in the picture somewhere. And so that would allow me to create some kind of movement and give me some creases into which we can, get to the second level of the opponent's defense. And so but here's the thing about it. Now, for them to utilize that personnel set, that's going to take away practice time from what Kyle wants to do with his other play calling and his designs and all that. So you have to make a commitment. You just can't trot it out there for one series and say, okay, we're going to throw this out there all of a sudden and we'll see how it works. You've got to make a commitment. You got to stay with it. You've got to make a concerted effort. And, your players have to understand what the goal is as well.
Well, it seemed like the Niners maybe wanted to dabble in this kind of thing when they spent so much money on Luke Farrell this offseason, but turns out he's not that good.